Violence, violence, violence. I don't like, but violence likes me. This is what the hero of the film KGF, Mr. Yash, utters in the film, and we thought it was quite a violent film at the time, anyway. But that cycle towards violence, ever violent films, that journey towards more and more violence seems to be a strong trend now in Indian films. And of course, we can give some names out. Films like Marco, Kerala film from Kerala, the Hindi film Animal, also, which did quite well. And seeing all these trend that happened, Rajini's own jailer itself, which literally had a scene of Rajini cutting off the ears of a prisoner. Violence seems to do well. Is it a coincidence, or is it what the public wants? Only God knows. But the filmmakers keep pushing the limits. All around the world, it's quite well known that while the censors are very strict with any kind of love scenes, although the hippie says make love not war, when the censors are concerned, they don't mind people hacking each other to death. They'll be so lenient about giving A for that. But any kind of slightly erotic scenes, and you'll get that A coming at you in no time. So in this scenario, filmmakers often got away with a moderate amount of violence here and there, and so on and so forth, in their films. And of course, different countries censor in different ways. When it comes to superstar Rajinikanth, over all the years, if you ask me personally, which is the most violent I've ever seen him before, correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, Talapati was the most violent that I've seen him before. And it's no coincidence that Lokesh Kanagaraj mentioned Talapati as being one of the films of Rajini which he was attracted to. And he also mentioned those things about the kind of realistic violence portrayed in the film and so on. Also interesting to note that Rajini's dress sense mimics similar to Talapati kind of dress sense, the slippers, the works, even the evening sunset shot, we all saw that. So there's lots and lots of Easter eggs. My big worry with the new generation of filmmakers and music directors is their overwhelming reliance on past references, old things that previous generation artists of Hollywood did, and trying to just polish that. So we want the new talent to come up with new groundbreaking art, not merely copying and calling it a kind of how to say, look back of the stars, or a kind of a nostalgia of the star and so on. Which can be milked in one or two films, for example, Ajit Kumar's GBU, but you can't do that. You can't be a one-trick pony, in other words. But having said that, it is what it is, and so be prepared to have lots of past Rajini film references in Coolie. Definitely that will happen, all the more because it's the 50th year of Rajini being in the Hollywood film industry. Now, regarding the violence, as I said just now, Talapati was the film to me in 1991 with the most gratuitous violence that I've seen, especially the scene of Rajinikanth chasing a police officer and chopping his hands off in the roundabout at the center of the city. Just as a side note, apparently Rajini used to sleep in that same roundabout when he was prior to his entry to films, when he was working as a conductor and all that, and he mentioned that to the film crew. But anyway, back to the main topic. So yeah, he did that, and to us at that time, even there's a poster with Rajini raising the what they call machete before chopping the police officer's hand. And in the year 1991, we felt concerned because violence among Indian youths, Indian boys especially, was one of our social concerns at the time, besides issues like alcoholism. And for superstar Rajini to be sort of glorifying gangsterism and violence it was very concerning because young kids tend to mimic their heroes. And of course I'm not going to the cigarette topic at all. That's a whole different other topic of him being like an unpaid model for sales of millions of cigarettes. If it was in the West, any actor who maybe like markets a cigarette brand in a movie or in TV ad, they will be paid so much. So Rajini literally did it for free, attracting millions of young teenagers into smoking and flipping and doing circus acts with cigarettes. That's one of those things that I have, how to say, me and Rajini differ, I guess, although I admire him a great deal as a hero. Of course, you can't, how to say, agree with even your heroes 100%, right? So that is that. So putting that cigarette thing aside, that kind of extreme gangsterism, violence and so on, even at that time 1991 was like quite concerning. But it was what it was, and yeah, I'd be lying if I said that young teens were not affected, get into trouble with the law, with the police and all that. Those things happen, right? But for those mature enough to watch a movie as a movie, then yeah, it's entertainment, right? So that's why when Lokesh says it's just entertainment, it's just something can't happen in real life. Lokesh, please be aware that young people's minds are way more, how to say, impressionable or robotic or immature than what you assume. A lot of people look at something that's happening in the screen, they get excited, and they go do stupid things that they regret all their life. Right, so that is that. So anyway, I come back to the main point. Yes, after Talapati, I think Coolie will take the crown as the most violent Rajini film ever. Initially, I thought the A said they were being too strict. A lot of conspiracy theories about that. But when you see why not, even films like Jailer, with literally Rajini cutting people's head off, got a UA and so on. So, or even Chandramukhi and so on. Lots of film Rajini chopping people's head off. Okay, but in the context, the amount and all, it's not so horrible as Coolie is. So why I'm saying as if I watched the movie, well, because I only saw the trailer, but there's an extended cut, and in that extended cut you can see Rajini taking a machete and literally dragging it across the patient, the bad guy's angle of his mouth, slashing his cheek all the way and dragging it through and through. I don't know if he's using the hook, the so-called cookie or not, but that level of gratuitous violence is concerning. Sometime back, Anil got into big trouble because he and Simbu tried to do one of those, bad word songs involving girls like the hip hop artists do in New York and Los Angeles. It didn't do so well in Hollywood. It became controversial. So let's see whether Kollywood is as shocked by this violence as it was with the vulgar lyrics of Anirudh and Simbu's collaboration back in the day. People are sort of numb to violence. As I said, all those movies, Marco, Animal, and so on, have already set precedents, and censors are given an A. So after the crazy first day first show and everything, if enough fans are shocked by peak Lokesh Kanagrash, that means Lokesh Kanagrash violence maximum film, this will be like his peak of his gangster journey. Then probably I think they will maybe in about a week tone it down and release a UA version, because I think even ladies or some of the more queasy people might even vomit in the theatre if they go on a rampage of violence like that. I don't think many are prepared for a Rajini film to have that. Maybe like those, whatever Marco, other kind of films with extreme violence, with smaller how to say stars would sort of pass muster. But when it's such a family friendly hero like Rajinikanth, that might be something else. So what do you guys think? Will Coolie be the most violent film of Superstar Rajinikanth? Do share in the comment section. We'll see what happens in soon, few days. Take care. Bye bye guys.